Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. And we have shaders running because today is a special episode. Today is the 25th episode of Kingdoms, and to celebrate that, we're halfway to 50. We got a world download in the description, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a shaders tour of what we have accomplished so far. So, there will be a world download in the description. It is Minecraft 1.10, the full release, and there is a link for my texture pack, or resource pack, whatever you want to call it, in the description as well. So keep in mind that most of this world was built with that, and some things will look a little different if you're using the vanilla textures. So most of the textures are the vanilla textures, though, just for the record. But anyway, so this is the outpost of Alum. This was the starter tower that we built. Normally when I start a new series, I build myself a starter house. Not so in Kingdoms. I decided to build a starter tower instead. Officially named the Hourglass Tower because it kind of looks like an hourglass, which was a name suggested by somebody. That might be the first time that I've actually mentioned that we named it that, now that I think about it. We set up a little enchanting area up here at one point, which has now been moved to our Ender, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. But all in all, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, little starter tower. After that, we built a storage cave, I think, was the next thing we built. Maybe we built the fishing farm first. I think we actually may have built the fishing farm first. But this is our storage cave. This is our main storage room in the world right now. We've got chests for everything. Everything's all nice and labeled and looking spiffy, etc., etc. Got some mossy cobble going in here, some of that kind of stuff as well. We also have over here two very important things. Up above on this pathway, we have our AFK fishing farm, which is something that you should pretty much build in every new world because it makes starting out much easier. This door serves no purpose other than just symmetry. But basically just stand here and you can fish all day long. And then down here, that's my throwaway garbage chute. I should stick a cactus down there. And the loot comes down here. There's I think it's a Panda design. I'm pretty sure it was Panda who designed this particular farm. Not the aesthetic portion of it. The aesthetic portion I did myself, but the actual functional portion of the farm, pretty sure it's a Panda design. Down here then, we have our auto smelter. And this is something that I have been using for ages. Oh, hello, stuff. Didn't know that was here. This is something that I have built many times in many different variants, and it's something that I add to every new world because it's just really convenient to be able to come back from mining or something like that, and rather than babysitting your furnaces as you smelt everything, you can just dump everything in one chest and come back and get it later. So really, really a useful thing to have. You just throw it all in there, make sure it's stocked with enough coal, and you can just walk away from it forever. Then down here, we've got our mines. We can actually pop down there and take a peek. They're not super fancy or anything like that, but you come down here, and ta-da, the mines. I kind of stopped. I need to extend this over, so this is covered. But back here is our actual beacon mine, now that we have a beacon. But there was a lot of mining that was done, especially early on, and there's a couple of really lucky finds we have. I think there's a ravine down this one, maybe? It's one of these two. There's a ravine, and then there's also an abandoned mine shaft and all sorts of good stuff. So we got pretty lucky with a decent spawn as far as the stuff underground. But that is the mines. I wish there was a faster way to go up ladders in vanilla, but there isn't. I suppose I could make a minecart elevator, but that really wouldn't make sense. And this world is really far more about kind of creating a world that's, not necessarily accurate to real life, but it's all about atmosphere. I'd rather make things pretty than functional, if that makes sense. We've got, this is kind of the town hall / pub of Alum. Why are my ferns gray in this shader pack? That's a little funky. It's not supposed to be like that. Weird. Okay, anyway, so we got that going, and little seating areas and stuff like that. You got, bar tables for people to relax. A little area over here for them to store their goods and their weapons when they come inside. And then up here, it's more of an inn. Right down here, you got a couple of beds for people to sleep if they need to spend the night. And then this goes up to a tower that we didn't actually do anything with. There are certainly some unfinished areas in this world, and I'm sure there will always be unfinished areas because I do have a tendency to bounce around between projects quite a lot. We got a couple little residential houses here for people to live. As you can see, no beds, no interiors. Also, this is granite. It was put in here before I retextured it, and I just haven't gotten around to changing it out yet for something else inside those houses. But that's basically Altum in a nutshell. We do have the wall that kind of goes and wraps all the way around. This was probably the most time-consuming part of Altum. This or that tower. The town hall took a while too, but I think this wall was probably the most time-consuming, just because it was a lot of blocks. It was just a lot of block placing. Nothing super difficult or anything, but just a lot of block placing. So yeah. That is Altum. Now, we can head out and make our way to Anona. The ugly custom tree. Ooh, I need to rework that at some point. But you come out the main gate. This is the main gate to Altum. And we built a road, and this road kind of wraps all the way around and goes all the way to our other village, our farming village. And it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to grab out a bed in case I need it here. There we go. And I do have an elytra. I could just fly from Altum, but I think I would lose this lovely atmosphere that we've created here. And this pathway goes all the way, as I said, passes a couple little things. We got like a little pond. I may actually rework this into an actual pond at some point. Right now it's just a water block that kind of fell out. Kind of comes down here. And is it night yet? Not yet. Shaders make things so dark. That's okay. And we'll come around, and then the road splits at some point. Yeah, right here. The road splits, and this way goes to our skeleton farm, which is one of my favorite things that I've built in this world so far, if not my favorite. I really like the way that this turned out. The farm itself is kind of whatever, but the rest of it is... I like it. It's very, very kind of super... It's almost overly detailed. It's really kind of dilapidated and worn down and busted up, and I really like that. It's a very simple system. Lava killing mechanism, hopper into a chest, and then we get bones and arrows and all that kind of stuff. And I built that because in Anona, our farming village that we're working on right now, we're building primarily with bone blocks, so I needed a lot of bones. Is it night yet? Can I sleep? No, still can't sleep, man. But yeah, this road takes you to the skeleton farm. This way goes back to Altum, and this way heads to Anona, and they both kind of meet up. Now can I sleep? Thank you, man. It was getting late and getting kind of scary. There we go. And it's just really dark in the woods in general, I guess, with the shaders. The shadows kind of hide everything. But yeah, this road comes over this way and goes into the village on this side. Or you can go the other way, and there's a bridge on either side that we'll take a look at. So this is one of the bridges. This is the one that comes from the skeleton farm, obviously. And just kind of crosses over and in. And then way over here, well, not that far over here, but over here, we also have another bridge. And this is a little cobblestone bridge. I think I like this bridge a little bit better. It's just a very simple design, but this is the one that came out exactly the way that I wanted it to look. Like this is the exact style of bridge that I was going for. We're just a little kind of cobblestone-y, slightly arched bridge that you just kind of walk over and come down. And I like it, even though it's really simple. I think I like that one a little bit better than this one. But then the two roads all kind of wind throughout. Here we have a barn. This was the second major building that we built in Altum. Let's just start in chronological order. So the first thing we built in... Oh, did I say Altum? I meant to say Anona. This is the town of Anona. The first thing we built in Anona was this house right here. This kind of Tudor or medieval revival style house. And this is kind of our main base of operations in Anona. This is a trapdoor that leads up into the attic, which I have not yet used for anything. In fact, I really need to get around to doing some interior in this house at some point in the near future. But that's the main kind of base of operations. Then we built these farms, because the whole point of Anona is to have it as a farming village. It's a functional place, but it's also a beautiful place. After I got done in Altum, I decided, I need a place where I can have a good, reliable source of food and passive mobs, sheep, cows, etc. And to supply the rest of my world. I need that. So I came and I started building Anona. And we built these farms. We then added animal pens, which you can kind of see in here. We got cows, we got pigs, and we got sheep. Looking pretty good. And then after that, we built this barn. And this is a barn that's really kind of a very different style than what you might expect for a barn. This is probably a very different style than what you might think of when somebody says barn. But we've got kind of like the loft right here where they hold most of the hay and stuff like this. This kind of goes up into another little area up here that we really didn't do anything with, but we could. And then down here, we've got our main storage area, and this is where we store all the stuff that comes from the farms, wheat and wool and carrots and, all that kind of stuff. So that's the barn. We've got some hay bales just around here for decoration. And then this is the blacksmith, and this is the most recent major building that we've built. We've got our little shop area right here, and Anona is not a militaristic society. It's a very kind of agrarian, peaceful... They're a bunch of peaceful farmers. So in the blacksmith, they don't sell swords and stuff. They sell hoes and tools. There's a couple pieces of armor just in case, because, it might come in handy at some point. You never know. But you don't see any swords for sale here. And then back here is where the blacksmith himself actually kind of lives. I want to put a flower pot with something in it right here at some point. And then this is the blacksmith's forge, where he does his work. So we got a couple of coal blocks. We got our actual forge here using the new magma blocks from 1.10. Little work area. And then maybe at some point, I'll probably add a dock, and with the idea being that he ships his goods down the river for sale in other towns and things like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. So that is pretty much everything we've built in the overworld. However, we still have one more very important major build to go look at. So I am going to head off to the end, and I'll be back with you in just a sec. All right, guys, I am back, and welcome to the end. This is my end. I killed the Ender Dragon, and I did that very early because I wanted to build one of these. This is an Ender. I believe it's a Doc M design, and this is acacia wood. This is acacia plank in my texture pack. It's more of a golden color, a golden orange than like a ugly orange. And we've got sandstone, sandstone, acacia logs, acacia planks, and then glowstone for lighting. And this thing is beastly. This is an amazing thing. Little W here for lighting as well. We got all of our storage for all the ender pearls we will ever need in the history of ever. As you can see, I've got a lot of them. And then a little enchanting area over here as well, because with the amount of experience that this thing puts out, this thing is without a doubt the place to go if you want to do enchanting. So you can see all of our mending gear quickly replenishing itself, and it's a good way to repair your tools relatively quickly. It's all good. And I like the design. I think it's a kind of a cool design, and it looks good, and, I got really nothing to complain about. So yeah, guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. World download down in the description if you do decide to download it and give it a try. build into it, discover some things that maybe I missed in the tour, any of that kind of stuff, feel free to let me know on Twitter. I'd love to see that stuff. But yeah, other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.